like a boss.
What's up, ladies? This is Alex from Mindful Attraction. Now, look, what's hyperfemininity? All right, hyperfemininity is the opposite of what some people call toxic masculinity. It's when somebody embraces their masculinity to such a point that it's like it's almost like a characterization of masculinity, almost like what do people call that word? It was almost like a cartoon version of a masculine man. Now, what tends to happen when a guy is hyper masculine is that he begins to suppress a certain part of his character that only flows through his feminine side. Because what you ladies have to understand is that every one of us has a trait, an undertone of the masculine and the feminine. Because we come from male and female. So genetically, at a genetic level and also at a hormonal level, we all have some of the traits of the opposite sex, right? Now, the Kylie Jenner effect is such that she does all she does for promotion and for money, right? Which is obvious, right? But sometimes what tends to happen is that people mistake the mask for reality. They mistake the roles that they play for who they really are, because they get the reward. They're told how good looking they are, right? And they feel good, so they begin to identify with those rewards, right? And that what tends to happen is that their self-image, who they are, begin to see themselves as the image that they portrayed onto the world. And that's when the mask is mistaken for reality. Right? And you'll begin to judge yourself, not based on the merit, not based on the things that you do in your life, but based on how feminine you come across. And you begin to suppress that masculine undertone, which is that masculine side of you that makes you ultra attractive. Now, women nowadays, I'm looking online, and they're pretty much basing their self-worth based on how feminine they are. Right? What you'll see is an exaggeration of femininity to such a point that it's not even reality. You know, these girls are judging themselves based on how feminine they are. Now, what they don't notice is that the women who have the most power, the women who have the most pull in society, have a masculine undertone. You think of women such as Rihanna. You think of women, even what's her name again? Do you believe? No, Gwen Stefani. Is it Gwen Stefani? She was like the Lady Gaga of the time of back then, right? But what you'll notice is that the most powerful women have a masculine undertone, right? And what tends to happen is that it is your masculine undertone that produces respect. It is your masculine undertone that makes you well-rounded, because there's a certain part of each woman's character that can only be expressed if they embrace their masculinity. Now, the problem is that a lot of women just think that it's just like guys who work out and think that having muscles is what gets you guys attracted. And the reason why is because they're looking at themselves through their own insecurities. They're buying into the media. They think that to get women, you got to get cars, which it does work, right? You got to be strong and muscular, which it does work, but it's not all. And what tends to happen is that guys will just run with it and go the other direction. And the reason why they go the other direction is because they're being led by insecurity. They're being led by emotion. So the problem with all of this is that this tends to make women into just objects, and they'll begin to see themselves as just objects. See what I'm saying? Because what they see with Kylie Jenner is that her self-esteem appears to be a good, they assume that she has high self-esteem because of the hyper femininity. But they don't understand the corrosive and the toxicity whenever you just embrace your feminine side. People would just see you as an object, and you feel as an object, and you're gonna resent that. You're gonna resent the fact that you have to act this way to get attention. And it's gonna feel like you gotta play onto it. And in fact, you're gonna feel like you're a dancing monkey in one weird way or another. Because the only way for you to feel good is to be hyper feminine, hide your masculine, and a part of you will resent that. That part of you that resents that need to always be differential and feminine will come out in passive aggressive way through your shadow. Your shadow will become thicker, and you'll grow resentful because you have to play these roles. And that is something that will create inner conflict and resentment. And you'll feel like you're not really yourself. And how would you feel that? Because you feel a sense, almost like a hint of self-hatred, right? You feel that depression. I'm sick. My dog is here. Missy, come here. Come here, Missy. Right? And what tends to happen is that the only guys who you're going to attract are guys that are looking for objects. I was gonna say you end up attracting guys like me, but most likely I will come to you. If you just show femininity to me, hyper femininity, I will come to you and take advantage of you. If you just show me that side, there's a part of me that can't help but take advantage of you. And you know what's gonna happen? Like AMS said, you're gonna be sucking a whole lot of dick because you think that's not my saying, people. Because you think that this is how you get guys to like you. And what would tend to happen is that you can only provide so much pleasure. And once you provide it, the guy will pull away and you feel resentful. But you were trained to only get attention through your femininity. You were trained to only get attention to how you look on camera. And your self-esteem is only based on that. And what's going to happen is that the more you go to that well to feel good through getting those Instagram likes, through getting those validation, the more corrosive and rotten is going to feel inside of you. And most of your relationship are going to be short term, or maybe you're just going to get with a guy who's a narcissist who cheats on you, and you end up alone. Right? So what you want to do is embrace your masculine. How do you do that? Well, first of all, you wanna wean yourself off of social media, right? You want to get off of that because that embrace. Now look, please, my dick says please don't listen to me. All right, my dick does not want that shit. You know, in fact, my dick just wants you guys to be more hyper feminine because it benefits me. But my higher self would tell you guys to get off of it. At least for a time. And notice how you feel. Notice the emptiness that you feel. Because that emptiness is almost like that emptiness the emptiness that you're gonna feel as a result of not getting that validation from social media is almost as gonna be it's almost like the scar, because the scar that you have by you suppressing your masculine. Because when you suppress your masculine, ladies, it's gonna fuel your femininity into a toxic. It's almost like when you drink too much water, it's not good for you, right? You got to learn to be more balanced. So what I would recommend now look, please, if you're following me, don't listen to me on Instagram because that's going to hurt my followings, right? Right? But what I would do is just stop posting photos. Allow yourself to feel that emptiness and ask yourself, how can I feel good without these likes? Honestly, ask yourself, what can I do to feel good without getting social media likes? Honestly, just ask yourself that and keep asking yourself that, and you're going to find the answer, right? What's going to happen is this. It's like when I was younger, right? What's funny is that the more confident I became in my life, the more feminine I became. Because when I was younger, I was trying to be super masculine because I thought that's what's going to get women. And what's happening is that when you're hyper feminine, you begin to see guys not as who they are, but as objects to make you feel good, and vice versa. So you're only attracting people who have a similar projection, people who are hyper feminine and hyper masculine, right? And that's why you have a lot of women like Cardi B or women such as Cardi B, Kylie Jenner, or Kim Kardashian to a certain point, right? Because Kanye's a little crazy, right? But I'm not going to judge that. But the point is that you just attract the opposite of who you are. Abusive people, even to a point. You might say, oh, but I'm not abusive. But sometimes you abuse yourself by restricting the range of your personality. Look, man, it is toxic when you don't embrace the full range of your personality. You're only embracing the deep end of who you are. What you got to do is find the mid-range of your personality. You're not so hyper feminine. You take shit. You fart. You burp. All that shit. And I'm not telling you to do that shit in front of people. What I'm saying is that you want to embrace some of the parts of you that are not considered feminine. And we all have that. So if you're somebody who's normally more quiet, as an exercise in assertiveness, be a little bit more assertive. If you normally say yes all the time, learn to say no. If you're normally aggressive, learn to be more passive and vice versa. If you're normally passive, learn to be more aggressive. If you normally defend yourself, learn to be on the attack. If you're normally on the attack, learn to be on the defensive. If you say to yourself, I don't like this or that, try it for the sake of it. You want to go in the opposite direction as an exercise to discover yourself. And you gotta, in order to do this, you gotta drown outside noise. That's what I would recommend, to go on a social media break. Unless you follow me on Instagram, please don't do that. Don't lower my stats, right? And I can promise you, man, the more ladies do this, the more ladies follow this path of hyperfemininity, the more plastic surgery you're gonna end up having. Because not everyone is super feminine. There's only a few women in the world who have those hips and those that body, right? But I could promise you that it's crazy, because most of the women that I end up making my girlfriend, which are not many of them, to be honest with you, aren't hyper feminine. In fact, they're pretty normal. In fact, the girls that I really liked had a little bit of masculinity to them. Oh, they were. Sorry. Yeah, that's how it is, man. That's how it is. Hyperfemininity is just insecurity. That's not who you really are, girl. And that's not who Kylie Jenner really is. She's just playing a role. But the problem is that the role that they mistake the mask for reality. So learn to go back to those hobbies that you did when you were a child that was considered a little masculine. Well, ladies, if you guys enjoyed this video, please don't forget to subscribe and follow me on Instagram. If you want one-on-one coaching, go to the link below. If you want to check out my online courses, go to the link below as well. You guys be safe. Peace out, motherfuckers. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys ever want to learn how to use your feminine energy to influence people, learn how to use your masculine energy to become more assertive, and also learn how to blend both energies to improve your dating life, your spiritual life, honestly, your relationship life, your family life, your career life, this is the course for you. If I had to make a course for my nieces, I have two nieces, one is 19 and one is 15. 16. Holy shit. Oh my God, he's a bad fucking uncle. He's a bad uncle. Get him. Shut up, Melissa. You should get this course, right? And this is the course that I will make for them. So, for example, watch the curriculum, right? In the first week, we're going to be showing you how to establish a strong masculine foundation without letting it hurt your feminine energy. This masculine foundation is a source of who you are, right? It's your bodyguard. Without this, whatever feminine energy you create will be destroyed by the outside, because your masculine is your shield. So we'll talk about goal setting. We'll talk about how to develop a serious attitude. We're going to be talking about how to use more logic, how to use more goal-oriented behavior. It's more how to be a man. Now the next one is how to embrace the feminine energy, right? This one would teach you about how to minimize excessive masculine traits, developing self-awareness, healing abundant feminine energy, regulating your emotion, mastering voice qualities and facial expressions, surrendering control, and allowing pain to be felt. This is honestly, this will supercharge, like Kaioken, your masculine energy. After that, we have femininity in the workplace, and how to be feminine in the workplace without letting people take advantage of you, and the nuances of how women on power should behave versus women who are subordinates in the workplace, and even the dress code. This is based on psychology, people. It's kind of insane. I'm actually excited about this one. The next week, we talk about navigating the labyrinth of male and female friendship, and this a lot of women find confusing, so we talk about that. And how to identify envious friends, how to identify the good friends, how to keep male friends, and how to keep female friends. Week 5, we talk about how to release the burden of the past and stop and destroy mental projections. This is actually really powerful. And then week 6, we talk about how to increase your observational power so that you could read people better. And we have a bunch of bonuses. The course starts at $99, and you guys can pre-order the course today at $69 before it goes out. If you're watching this, most likely I'm in the meditation retreat, so I will be praying for all of you guys. And just click on the description down below of the video. Right there, you'll see it, and you could pre-order that course. It's gonna be out by the end of next month or the beginning of February of March. One of the two, people, because I have a 10-day retreat to do, and I want to finish the course after the retreat, because I think the ideas are gonna be so much better. All right, man. I'll see you guys later. Pre-order, man. Oh, I'm closing the channel.